Taking a shower after mikveh. After immersing in a mikveh on Erev Shabbos, or any day of the week, as Chassidim are accustomed to immerse in a mikveh daily before prayer, is it permitted to go in the shower and wash oneself off after the mikveh? Is it asur, mutter, a chumrah? What's the ruling behind this? So we find in the Gemara in Shabbos, on page 14a, that the sages decreed against one showering his head and majority of his body in water after immersing in a mikveh for ritual purity. However, the case of the Gemara was discussing someone who immersed for a legal purpose, meaning that he had to immerse halachically in order to purify himself from biblical or rabbinical impurity. In other words, the immersion was an obligation. We find in the Shulchan Aruch in Yeridea chapter 202, halacha 75, with regards to the immersion of someone who must immerse in a mikveh halachically, such as a woman who is immersing or a convert who is immersing, that it is disputed whether this decree against showering after mikveh applies likewise to them, or was it only to men that have to immerse for halachic reasons. The final ruling there is, as written in the Ramah, that although that there are those that are lenient, nevertheless there are those that are machmir, and the minhag is to be stringent. And thus, after the immersion of a woman, she's not to shower her entire body due to this reason. Nevertheless, even in that case, there are many, many poskim that are lenient in this, even in the case of a woman, as is ruled in the Lechem V'Simla, the Birkei Yosef, in the name of Abinu Yishai, and the Pri Adama, as is ruled also in the Gra, and as is brought in the Darkei Tshuva. Besides, for all these opinions that are lenient, even in that case, which is discussing an immersion that is required from the letter of the law, with regards to a man's immersion in a mikveh in the morning, or on Erev Shabbos, which is only for additional purity, or from the state of a Balkari, it's not recorded anywhere that there is such a prohibition. And based on this, the Shevat Halevi in volume 7, responsive 33, concludes that in truth, there is no prohibition at all to shower after immersing in a mikveh. As even regarding other cases, it is disputed if it applies, and certainly here that it's not even an obligation to immerse, there is no prohibition in doing so. Nevertheless, he does conclude that it is proper to be careful in this matter, and so is the custom of many people to be careful not to shower after mikveh, as there's also recorded the opinion of the Tiferes, Adam 128, which is stringent in this matter. In conclusion, it is permitted for a man to shower after he immerses in the mikveh, whether during the week, on Erev Shabbos, or even on Shabbos, and those that do so do not have to be protested. Nevertheless, those that are stringent to avoid doing so are not doing a superfluous stringency and are doing a chumrah that is sourced in Poskim.